Well, during the night, the first night when the takeover began, and shots were fired initiated by the BIA and of course responded to by members of our caravan that had went in there. Then we decided to block the roads, because if the BIA and all the feds were going to come out from Pine Ridge, then we had to have some kind of control of the situation. Initially, like I said, we didn't know we was going to be there. But after the elders made a decision, not elders, but everybody that was in the meeting at the church at Wounded Knee on the 27th of February 1973, we didn't limit people from talking or what their opinions were. Everybody got to say what they wanted to say regarding why we were there, trying to draw attention to the treaty issue, trying to draw attention to the corruption that existed on the reservation. But it was decided that we would stay there. Then we had to secure the perimeter and secure the area. And remember, we had families that lived within this small town, both right outside of the town in terms of government housing, and then people who traditionally lived there, including white store owners who owned the Wounded Knee trading posts. So immediately we secured the trading posts because they had weapons in there that they were selling on, just as a gun dealer. And so we went in there and secured those weapons. We had a few weapons with us in terms of the caravan, individual owners. And so then we set up roadblock on each end of the town of Wounded Knee. At first extending quite a ways out, maybe a mile out almost, from the town, the perimeter. And also then we had a meeting of all the security, the warriors, the veterans inside Wounded Knee, and we set out a plan. First we had to secure the store because that's where the food was. We didn't think we was going to be surrounded. We just thought, well, we're going to stay here, camp at Wounded Knee. But then through the night, then more police start coming. They start surrounding us. There was occasional gunfire, and so we had to make a choice that we were going to stay. And then they in turn blocked the roads further down from where our perimeter was. So it was kind of a standoff there on the first 24 hours, 36 hours. And then as more and more information started coming to us from inside Pine Ridge, the U.S. Marshals began to organize themselves, set up a perimeter outside our perimeter, and then they were calling in FBI from all over the country. And then as time went on, within a very few days, shipments of weapons, army trucks were seen going up to the Pine Ridge boarding school and entering into the small village of Pine Ridge, and people would tell us about this. So we knew that we ourselves had to put together a plan. So the veterans and others of us, as I said, got together and we decided to build some bunkers, because if they were going to militarily attack us, at least we were going to put up some resistance until we were able to put forth the reasons why we were there. Because we knew ourselves that word was spreading very fast about this takeover of Wounded Knee, which in itself in history has been a very significant part of American history, often portrayed as the last Indian War between the cavalry and the U.S., always portrayed as a war that they killed over 300 men, women, and children and gave over 20 Congressional Medals of Honor at this massacre. But as we know, growing up, even in the reservation schools, it was called the last war at Wounded Knee.